Alrighty, what's going on guys, I'm thesolobandit and welcome to a quick update here for CARX Drifting Online. I just want to give you guys a quick sneak peek on what we have to look forward to over the next few weeks to months now here in CARX Drifting Online. So as you may know, there is a new PTR version of the update coming out here on PC. What they usually do is they do a PTR test and it usually has about maybe about 4 to 5 updates where they fix things and add things, and then they finally release an update. Usually takes about 2 weeks at max before they actually release that update to PC, and then about a week to 2 weeks later, us console plebs will usually get it. So it's probably, I'm going to say about a month from now, we'll probably get this update. So I'm just going to run through a list of some of the things, some of the more important things that really caught my eye in this information. Now the information is a little bit jacked up. I will say some of the other sources that I have read have said completely different things, so it's a little bit confusing. Hopefully these are just a simple mistake on their part, but we'll get to that when we get to that point. Also, we're going to go through the comment section and see what the community is saying about this update, and see how they feel about what has been put out, and if they are okay with it or if they are extremely frustrated. We'll see. But anyways, we're going to go ahead and start listing off some of the things in this latest PTR test update. So some of the things that caught my eye in this is this one right here. Max wheel angle in ultimate setup changed up to 55 degrees angle, right? So that means if you're running a ultimate setup, that the max you will be able to run from now on is 55 degrees angle. Now, I'm pretty sure this is a mistake, because on the other website over on Twitter, it says that all cars from now on will have a default of 64 degrees wheel angle, right? Which is actually a good thing. Now, I'm hoping that is the case, because if every single car in the game was able to run 64 degrees angle for their steering angle, that would open up a lot of doors for a lot of different cars which currently don't get used. So with the steering angle, right, the smaller it is, the easier it is to spin out. So some of the cars that don't get used in the game run about 51 to 54 for their steering angle, and those cars spin out very, very easy, hence why they don't get used. So having those cars at now 64 degrees steering angle, they're going to be actually quite good. A lot more easier to control for some of these players who have struggled with them, so that's going to be really, really good for all of us. So let's just hope that that is the case, and that the 55 degrees is not the case, because if that is the new standard, that could be a bit of an issue. So it's a bit of a concern there, but let's just hope that that's a typo. Now moving on, there's a few other changes when it comes to cameras and stuff, so we're not going to look into any of that. But this one right here also got my attention. New types of differentials are added to the dyno stand. That's also really, really cool as well. So, as I have read also, there's going to be 4 different types of differentials added into the options. So you're going to have 2, which is going to be your stock, and I'm assuming your street style differentials, which will not be customizable, by the way. So you're going to be locked into a specific setting preset, and then the other 2 obviously will be like a LSD and then like a full-fledged drift, I don't know, quick change style diff. Which will be completely fully customizable, I'm assuming, which you can make all those nice juicy changes. What those changes will be, I'm not too sure, but I'm definitely interested. It's definitely piqued my curiosity, because I love tuning in this game. And then all of these down here are pretty much just fixes and stuff like that. Now they are adding, like right here, adding more options for controller settings, which is awesome. Love to see it. They are adding in a bunch of sound stuff, which is really cool. I've said this before, the sound in any car game makes or breaks the car game. If you screw up the sounds for the cars, it can ruin the whole experience and turn off a lot of players. That's why I always hammer down on these things when I talk about the car sounds. It has to be perfect. You cannot have an MX-5 with the sound of a V8. It just sounds stupid. It does not sound normal, especially if the car is stock standard. It's just whacked out, right? It has to make sense. That's why we need engine sound options in the game, engine swap options. It would completely fix that issue, and once again, add more variety and diversity in the game, which is always good for us. So, also, it's good for the game and the longevity of the game, which, whether you want to agree with me or not, the game is dying. It's definitely dying. It's on its way out, unfortunately, but it can be rebooted. If they just made some of these quality of life changes, honestly, it would completely transform the game and bring a lot of players back, 100%. So, that's pretty much it. Yeah, not really any other new changes. It's mainly improvements and fixes, which I always like to see, to be honest, because the game has a lot of mistakes and things that need to be improved on, and I always like to see games improving the game instead of just pumping out content which is even more buggy and creating even more issues. That's really, really annoying. Also, there's some fixes for the people with the bad connections, which is also great to see. We're going to pop over to the Discord really quick. If you're not in their Discord, go ahead and jump over to their Discord, and you can keep up to date with all of the cool information as well. Even if you're not a PC player, you can stay up to date. So there has been another update as well on the 7th, so a few days ago now. And this one talks about some of the other changes which have been updated in the PTR test. Obviously, you can go and put your feedback in here, so if you've got any ideas, you can go pop that in here as well, and they can look into it. Not like they will, but hey, you can give it a go anyway. If you've got a big influence, I'm assuming you can probably get some attention, but if you're your average old Joe, good luck with that. You already know how it is with some games out there, like, what's that game? Overdrift Festival, you already know they're the biggest pandas out there. If you've got a big influence and you're going to exploit them, they're all good with it. As long as they can exploit you, they'll put something in the game for you and make you feel special, until you criticize the game, and then they'll completely dirtbag you. Don't believe me, go ask, what's his name? Old Mr. Commercialized over there, Slap Train, who pretty much got raw dogged by them. Pretty sad to see, but hey, it's game developers for you, man. They will literally use you until they no longer need you, and then they will throw you under the bus. But yeah, I've got no time for that game. But anyways, this isn't about that game. It's trash anyway. We're talking about CARX. So some of the other improvements, I actually haven't read this. There's a lot of modification changes and responsiveness changes. So as you can see here, feedback responses for the accelerator and the boost control settings. I actually thought that was already a thing. Now this one was quite interesting. Automatic. So for the people that run automatic gearboxes, this is massive for you. So they're redesigning the entire automatic system, gearbox system. So this is going to be a big change for the people that can't drive manual, can't figure out those buttons. This is going to be big for you. I might actually have to test this out. A lot of UI changes. Really cool to see. Influence of engine torque or bodywork rotation updated. New types of differentials. We already covered that, pardon me. Finalization of camber influence on tire behavior. This could be good. This could be finally the end of the low bros who rock -12 camber in the front and rear and somehow are still able to keep up with people who have literally 0.0 for their rear camber because they did their tune setups properly. It always got under my skin when that happened, when some dude has got their car glitching through the ground almost and they're running max camber, negative camber on the front and rear, but they can keep up with you. It makes no sense. They should not be able to keep up with you. They should literally have almost no grip, but for some reason they have optimal contact patch with the ground, so that's good to see. Hopefully that fixes that issue. So now we're going to do something that I don't think the developers of CARX do too often, and that's read the comments, especially the ones that are criticizing them. So I'm going to do that here and give my 2 cents on it and see where people are at here and what people actually want, because the community is what really you want to be focusing on here, because if you're not pleasing the community, you got no game. That's just how it is, okay? So let's see what the comments say. So we've been asking for tracks, and still nothing. We appreciate the hard work and fixes, but come on guys, we need some new tracks. First comment already, 20 likes, talking about we need more tracks. Now we already have a ton of tracks in the game, but the majority of them are irrelevant. They are not good for drifting, okay? And whether you want to agree with me or not, there is less than a handful of tracks that actually get used in the game. What's the first thing that comes to mind when you think drift tracks in CARX? What's the tracks that everyone runs? Let me read your mind, because I can guarantee you know what it is. Red Rock, East Toge, Cami Road. Those are the 3 main tracks that you're going to see all the time. And if you're lucky, you might be able to get into an Atrion track, you might be able to get into a Red Ring track, or you might get into a St. Pittsburgh track. Or if you're really desperate, you might jump into an LA block, or a, what the hell is it called? Something Hills. I can't even remember the name because it's so bad. Hardly anyone, Pacific Hills, there we go. Hardly anyone actually rocks it because it's so bad. So, as you can tell, we don't have that many good tracks that people really want to use. So, tracks, definitely something the game could do with. Now, this guy here says that they're not concerned about the tracks. They're not concerned about maps. They're focused on the stability of CARX Streets because it's their main priority and it's pretty much going to kill off CARX once it comes out. Now, I have to disagree with you here. I do not think that CARX Streets is going to kill CARX. And for this reason, right here, okay? Now, for example, take Forza Motorsport and Forza Horizon. Forza Horizon mainly is one track. If you don't buy the DLC, which most people don't, you're stuck in one track, and that's the one city, okay? Now, Forza Motorsport has many tracks, so different variations, right? Lots of variety. So, if you haven't noticed by now, most people have gone back to Forza Motorsport. Why? Well, because there's more variation, right? It's actually better for drifting compared to Forza Horizon, which is just one gigantic city, which is pretty much what CARX Street's going to be. People are going to get sick of those same roads, like we all have on Forza Horizon. We got sick of driving those same long, boring, windy roads. There's no good drift sections. It gets really boring really fast. People are going to get sick of it, okay? And people are going to revert back to the old game. They are, whether people disagree with me or not, it's going to happen. And if they focus more time on CARX, it can become a massive game. Honestly, it could, but who knows? This could be the end of CARX, guys, if they keep pushing out game after game, which is not needed, to be honest. They could have done all of the CARX Street stuff in CARX through updates. But instead they push out a whole new game because obviously they need funding, but I would have been fine paying for a massive DLC expansion over a brand new game. I just don't think it's necessary and I don't think it's needed. So anyways, let's move on from that one. Let's see what other people are saying. Give us a setting to take the snow off Castle Road so we have at least a new track. So once again, they're asking for a new variation because they want a new track because the lack of variety, okay? So once again, another comment wanting more tracks. Another one, and still no tracks or the Ford XR6. I think it's time for a different game. People are leaving. People are up and quitting this game because they're not getting any response. They're not getting any feedback. They are getting developers who are saying, this is what we want to put out, and this is what you are going to get. Now deal with it. I'm sorry, I'm not a game developer, but I'm not a fucking idiot, okay? This is not how you run a business. This is not how you create traction for your game, by telling people and putting out content for only specific groups, okay? Have you ever heard the saying, go woke, go baroque? Have you ever seen those movies that do all women movies and say, you have to deal with it? This is going to be great, and they try and make it out to be this great thing and it flops big time and it costs millions? Yeah, that's what's happening, guys, because the majority of the people that play this game are playing it for the drift aspect of the game. And when you put out an update for a rally specific update game, which is focusing on rally, it's a spit in the face to all of us because the majority of the players, like I said, they're not interested in the rally side of this game, right? We don't even have rally tracks, for crying out loud. Alright, so it makes no sense as it is. So, like I'm saying, that's like me posting a video playing Fortnite and saying, deal with it. I want to play Fortnite. I don't care what you want. I want to play Fortnite. This is my channel. I'm going to play Fortnite. You already know what's going to happen, right? People are going to unsub. People are going to tank the views. I'm not going to want to make those videos anymore. I'm going to get angry and I'm going to not want to play CARX, but I'm going to do it anyway because that's what people want, okay? So I'm not saying you have to cater to people that want drift content, but man, you at least need to give them some sort of, 2 cents worth. Let them have the chance to get their content in the game and their ideas and creativity in the game. Because whether you agree with me or not, Mr. CARX Technologies, a lot of these ideas that people are asking for are great ideas. They are really good, and this is what people really want. This is what people have been craving for. This is why people came and played this game to begin with, because it gave them massive nostalgia, especially me. I'm a massive old school gamer from playing the earlier Gran Turismos and games like that, and even the earlier Forzas, right? Massive nostalgia. Before Forza absolutely shafted itself and became an absolute sellout, instead of creating Hot Wheels fucking content, just, you know where that went, right? The game is just a joke at this point. It used to be really good anyways, before they locked everything behind a paywall and became, like I said, sellouts and became a children's game. They were actually pretty good. So, yeah, you don't want to become one of those people, because it's a dark road, but unfortunately that looks like the way it's going. Because they don't seem to be listening to anyone except themselves and people that have influence that, once again, they can use for their own good, by getting free exposure. And I'm not even going to cookie cut it. I'm not gonna beat around the bushes here, right? A lot of the influencers that do promote these games are just doing it for the free exposure as well. They're not telling you how it is. You ever seen one of those people come out on YouTube here with like 1 million subs and they're like, oh yeah, we need this in the game. We need to add monster trucks. And you're just like, what the fuck are you on about? Monster trucks and CARX? And the game developer's like, yeah, that's a great idea. And everyone else is like, no, what the hell are you smoking, bruh? We do not need monster trucks in the game. That's what I'm talking about, right? They got shitty ideas. Some of the best ideas are coming from you guys, the community. Not from the influencers, not from people like me, but from you, the people that are genuine car enthusiasts. Not those people that have been playing video games all their life and never stepped foot in a car, ever, right? Oh, it drives me insane. But anyways, let's keep moving on. Also, XR6, great idea. I already get those Barra vibes coming here in the comments right here. I can already see it, I just want to see a Barra style car in the game. That would be dope. Also, I will have to admit, I'm assuming you are Australian? Yep. VL Commi, that would be pretty dope as well. Can you just imagine that, like a VL Commi with a single turbo RB26 in it? That'd be dope as hell. Or even a Barra swap in it, that'd be dope as hell as well. But it's grasping right there, because I don't think that's ever going to happen. Unless you play PC, then good luck with that, because you ain't going to get it unless you've got the mods. So let's have a look. Hope that's a typo. Did you mean 65% max? Yeah. It should be 75. No, it says on Steam it should be 65 degrees. Yeah, that's what I thought as well. So maybe it was a mistake. Not too sure what that guy means by that. Please put more power into the kaiju at low revs. Okay, some good things here. I don't think things like this would happen. More cars and more tracks, ASAP. I stopped playing this game ages ago. Nothing new. I'm sick of playing the same tracks over and over. Once again, people sick of the same stuff. They want more variety. Dead game. Why decreasing wheel lock? I was hoping to increase to 70%. Okay, so people are a little bit confused on that. New map is well needed and appreciated. I was expecting that this update, because they have been asking for new map for a year or more. Now I guess they don't listen to the people. See what I mean, man? I'm not the only one here. I'm not being salty. I'm not trying to pick on CARX Technologies. The only problem is here, guys, is that people are not used to YouTubers like me telling it how it is. Okay? And these comments are the community. These people are the people holding this game together. These are the glue between the two pieces of wood, right? And they're getting completely ignored. And slowly the player base is dwindling and they're disappearing because they're not getting heard. Yeah, but I hope CARX Street is good. It's the last straw. Pretty much, right? Everyone's got their hopes on CARX Street, but I'm telling you right now, man, I don't think it's going to be what people think it's going to be. Unfortunately, people asking for more cars, modernization, pretty much wants a revamp of the whole game. Make it so there's more realistic physics and doesn't just drift for you. Okay, yeah. that would be good. More realistic physics, that would be good. It is pretty unrealistic, I will say. No new cars. Bring us engine swaps, that would be good. I would love to see engine swaps. We've talked about that many times on the channel. Guys saying get a PC. Yeah, it's not as that, you know, it's not about just having a PC to do these things. People want just more in general. So I'm pretty much covered all of those comments. Now if we go to all comments, we'll see some of the more nastier stuff. So let's see what we can find real quick. Alright, here's one. Please give us separate tuning spots. Also, so we can have multiple tunes for the same cars. Also, a comment that we have also brought up on our channel as well and spoken about. Hey, Isaac Taylor, I've seen him on the CARX pages as well, I'm pretty sure. I can't see it, but I'm pretty sure he is in the CARX forum as well. I've seen him post a few times, I'm pretty sure. Anyways, yeah. That's definitely something that we've talked about. They definitely need to add the option to have multiple tuning slots so we can use different tune setups for different tracks. Simple quality of life changes that would dramatically change this game, which we will never get, unfortunately, because, once again, the developers don't seem to be listening to the majority of the community. They're just listening to a select few in the community, which unfortunately have fucking dog shit ideas. Apologize for swearing, but it's the truth. Alright, here's one from someone called Jadon, or Jaden. CARX, if you're seeing this, add maps. And add two-step and anti-lag, please. That would be so cool. Yes, new maps. Once again, people asking for new maps. Two-step, also, that would be pretty cool. It would add to the things that you could do, right? It would add more entertainment, I suppose, to things like car meets. If you're one of those people that does car meets, you know, you park up and you could have your mates there and their cars doing the two-step. That'd be pretty dope. I'm not going to lie, I am a Boosted Boys fan. That would be pretty cool to see. And anti-lag also really, really cool. Sounds dope as. That would be something really, really interesting to see in the game, with also an option so you can control the amount of backfiring and stuff like that. Fuel ratios also, that would be really, really cool to see. Let's see what else we can find, eh? Alright, so I couldn't actually find anything more that was different. Everyone was kind of saying the same thing. More tracks, more variations, and more quality of life changes. And enough of this crap. Literally, this comment sums up the last few updates, okay? Let me just find it really quick. I saw it, it was nice and simple. The fuck is this update? It pretty much sums it up, but hey, you know, we never seem to get anything decent. We get the occasional flash in the pan here on CARX with the occasional decent things, but man, I don't know who was talking in these people's ears. I don't know what kind of circles you have to be in to have any sort of say, but it seems that the community, we are waiting for your feedback. From who, CARX? Whose feedback? Because it definitely isn't the community of CARX who was feeding your game, by the way. It isn't coming from them. So who exactly are you waiting for the feedback? Because like I said, it isn't from us. So with that out of the way, guys, hopefully I can keep you up to date with any more future updates when it comes to CARX. Well, that's going to be it for today's video. I went on a bit of a run because I wanted to show you guys what the community actually wants compared to what we are actually getting. So, hopefully you enjoyed this little video, guys. I'm Solo Bandit, and I'll catch you in the next one.